Check this out. This is Lace after a few days away. I just flew up to Sydney to see my great uncle, and he's had an operation. Thankfully he survived. The other thing I had to worry about, well, more minor, was my hair. And this is the lace piece that I put on a few days ago. Not very many days ago at all. And look at these kind of chunks right there. Look at that. Look at how dark that is. I don't think it's because I've sprayed it with alcohol. Sorry, with fake tan. It's just, the chunks are just so clear and disgusting. It's almost like, I did wear a hat over it, so that's probably made it worse. But the first time I had a shower, it became completely messy and glue was all stuck around the front edge. It reminded me why I moved to poly in the first place. So the front hairline with lace has been a disaster. It was never this bad in the past. This constant bits of glue all the way along the front that stick to everything. And every day I've got to pull out hairs and check the mirror. Poly, that doesn't happen. Poly, the glue is away from the hairs completely. The hairs cannot touch the glue of the poly. You understand? The glue is applied directly to the underside of the poly. You push the poly down and now it's in there and not out here. Lace is a fucking mess. And it's a pity because it looked like it was gonna be a more effective, more realistic kind of solution to return to. But given that this is gonna happen again, get all shiny and everything in summertime, in a few months, and just to think that I can't, there's no way for me to peel that off now. It's kind of just destroyed, you know? See, Lace is getting a thumbs down again today. And all weekend I was kind of trying to cover over my hair when I was going out with lots and lots of relatives I haven't seen for years and stuff. I hope I got away with it. Now I understand the predicament with poly. The front hairline can look like a straight, curved line that goes dead across. And if you've not bleached the V-lips, then it just looks like a wall of hair every time. So you've got to bleach the front hairs on the hairline with poly. And I should maybe have done that here also with lace as well. So there's a transition to go out a bit. But that still wouldn't stop the black line appearing all the way along the front, or having that glue exposed to an extent that even one hair would get caught along there, and then another hair over here would get caught along there. And then when I wear a hat, it pushes all the way through and creates this fucking chunky mess over here. It's just a huge mess. And trying to get it out now with C22 or something, it's an insane type of job. It's not going to happen. But I will try to clean up the chunks along the front line, but it's going to put the hairline even back further. Now that it's been a few days, you can see right there a little baby hair trying to grow out. They're very sparse because I'm balding. So the lowest hair is at that altitude right there. Just there. So I'm going to cut my hair again. If I can't clean up the front hairline and try to stretch this down to be, low enough, And there's no way this can ever make a reasonable brushed back hairline, is there? Look at it. It's disgusting. This is the way of lace. So I want to try to cut out these chunks here. Now, just before I forget, I have in the past considered cutting in like that all the way along, right? And then lining them all up and just keeping them all next to each other like that perfectly. That way, if you lift anything here, then the rest won't lift all the way along. You could even do fine little ones like, you'd have to be very careful not to cut hairs, and when doing that, we'll make sure glue doesn't seep out these gaps, but it seems like it would be a similar method that they use to keep sidewalks from cracking, by putting lines of indentations along the concrete all the way along, so the crack point will not be a rift of just crumbled crunch. You know, when a tree root grows underneath something, it'll just be, you know, try to break at those squares. Keep everything mostly flat as much as they can, given that nature is trying to fight the footpath. Just looks so messy and chunky and disgusting. I was really trying to cut that in a straight line there. I'm cutting off quite a lot there, just trying to see if I can even actually make a straight line. And I was able to, but look, this is what the disgusting thing looks like now. I'm pretty confident this hairpiece is going to be discarded today. Can you see all the deterioration of the threads pulling out from their source? Lace is a disobedient little bitch, and it needs to be sent home. There's got to be a method to make poly look even better, because poly is the clear winner when it comes to concealing the glue and making everything behave itself. But poly does not merge nicely with the perimeter, but lace can. We pushed all the way back and you can't notice, you know, the definitive straight lines of lace because of this very effect here at the front hairline. Because that is actually beneficial back where the hairpiece meets my natural hairs at the perimeter, because it blends nicer. So that's what I'm dealing with along the front hairline all the time with lace. It's just this disgusting, snotty looking fucking gluey mess shit. I'm sick of having to deal with it after only 3 days. Now it could be that the front of the lace had hairs missing, because as I cut this, I'm not seeing that many hairs falling, which is what you would expect if I was cutting through some hairs along the front. So maybe the front hairline needed to be trimmed to begin with, and I hadn't done that. But of course, when I pull on the front hairline now, some hairs should fall out. Like that. So maybe you can ignore that. Maybe it was as good as it could be. Let me just try once again to stretch this down See, even at the back there, little hairs falling in there. But that still happens with poly as well, but I don't know. There's got to be some benefit to lace. I remember it being better than poly in a lot of circumstances. It's definitely better for not making you sweat as much, but still, the glue melts and it shines through, so you can't really wear it with confidence outdoors in the bright sunshine, can you, lace? Let's see if I can stretch that. So, I'm determined that the front hairline should be down where these natural hairs are starting trying to sprout out here. Right there. That's going to be quite a stretch. That's more like there actually. Now, can that be stretched that far? Can lace stretch 1.5 centimeters? Answer, goosh. The answer is no, because look up there. Where did it come from? Here. So this hairpiece is too small for my bald spot. Total fucking waste of time. Would you agree that that is the spot where it should land on the front? Fucking hell. Look how thin this is now. I need it to be like that wide. Let's see what the back end, which is less frayed, looks like along the front. It should be short as well. So you see that little hair there that's growing out naturally? That's where it could have started back when I was really young. All the way down to there. Irretrievable, unfixable, dead. So I'm going to clean that up and get another earpiece. I'll use C22 and I'll spray a little bit on here. Rub it in, and then I'll wait 60 seconds or so, and then I'll just use a baby wipe to get rid of it. If it was really thick, I'd start by scratching out all the excess glue with a comb. The comb is what you use to scrape out the bulk off the glue when it's everywhere. Now I said in my last video that I thought I'd shaved this back too far, but you can see how bald that spot is there. around there. So it's kind of, they're the top of the arches. I can't really go any further that way without having... my thinning peaks up here. This up here is thinning, of course, and I will probably end up shaving that off and making a whole bunch of new stencils, meaning that my 100 hair pieces that are cut to this size basically will be useless to me. Or I could keep them hoping that one day I'll grow this back. But I'm not ready to do that yet. And pay 33% more per hair piece forevermore. This has never worked. It is essential for a lasting bond. This safe, neutral scented solution provides excellent top of head protection to reduce sweating and extend your attachment wear time. Directions: make sure scalp is clean and dry. Before applying your hairpiece, spray a thin coat of no sweat directly onto your scalp. Allow to dry, then use your preferred attachment method. Doesn't say anything about acrylic or water-based glues that it's compatible with or anything like that. There. It'll be 2 coats now. This is Ghost Bond Supreme. I've had very, very, very limited success with this. I don't know. It says here, specifically formulated for oily scalps, high humidity, heavy perspiration. Shake well before using. Is that enough? No? I've got to wait a little bit because that Pro Touch has made me sweat. And I can feel my head is wet, so I'll have to wait for it to dry. I'm going to choose another lace piece to try with this because poly kind of works, but there's a downside around the back, etc. And I've only got one new fresh piece left. All the rest have those stupid numbers on it. Manufacturing numbers that they decided needed to be fucking super glued on to every hairpiece. Look, every single one of these, I'm gonna risk having a fucking number showing through. So let's have a quick look at this lace hairpiece. No. The hairs are basically black. Now you know, if you've seen my videos, how much trouble it is to take the phone off the mirror and try to film downwards. You know that. I'm not going to do it. It's a waste of your time. That's the best I can give you. Thumb background. But iPhones don't allow for close-ups at all. So it's still focusing on my face, even though I'm just really giving you that. See, that side seems fairly okay, but then get to the... Gee, this Pro Touch, really, if you want to sweat, put some of this on you. It really, really makes you sweat. I can feel myself starting to sweat all over because of this, really. All right, I'm gonna wear this one. Okay. So I'll start by wetting it under the tap. Did you guys see all those dislikes I received by Steve Mars and his 30 fucking aliases? You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? He's come back again, this cyber stalker, this troll, this wacko, fucking masturbates in his own feces all the time. He's come back and he's trying to fuck my channel. He's nuts, man. So I got 16 dislikes in the first 3 minutes of uploading 3 new videos. 16, exactly 16 dislikes on each of them within the first 10 minutes. It's like, he gets the notification, boom, dislike, log out, log in, dislike, log out, log in as a new user, dislike. He's got it on, he might have maybe 5 or 6 different browsers open simultaneously, so he's figured out the fastest way to do it. You got Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Edge, or whatever you want to call it, Opera, and they're all open with all these different accounts, so he doesn't have to log out of all of them at once. Then he goes shunk, shunk with each of them. So that's 8, whatever, you know, boom, 12, 16. Fucking asshole, man. I don't know, seriously don't know what it's in it for people like that. Just spreading hate for no reason. So I've wet that. I want to check on the back. And you might say, well, there aren't 16 dislikes now. Like, well, he wanted a rise from me and I gave it to him, and then he probably just went and deleted them. But the moment I go back and remove my anger towards him, he'll post them again. He does that. He's a fucking lunatic. All right. Maybe he'll respond less now, hopefully, because I finally gave him all his credit for being the guy who slashes the Mona Lisa. I used to sort of say, let's feel sorry for him, let's not hurt his feelings or whatever, but now I've brought out the hate, which he was trying to fish for, I think. There's evil in everyone. He needs to know that, so he's not alone. So once he finds the evil on the channel owner's page, from the channel owner, like me, he can relax. Thank God I'm not alone. That's why he does it. So there you go. I fucking hate you back. You're not alone. All right. That's wet. This stuff's dry now. I'm gonna put the Supreme Bond, Ghost Bond on. With my finger, and I'll block this hair here from getting glue in it as much as I can. This stuff has a consistency of the sort of glue you'd use to try to glue paper together. So I'm leaving the front area blank, and there's not much I can do about the build-up back there. And apparently I have to wait until each thin layer, and can't get much thinner than that. I pressed in hard with my finger. Can't rub it in any more than that. You're not supposed to rub it in. You're not supposed to put a thick layer. I'm doing exactly as I've been told to do it. You're doing it wrong. No, I'm not. This is layer 1 of 4, bitches. You will see the effect of this fucking Ghost Bond once again. And I won't shower for 24 hours either. Again. Okay, so I've got to wait for this to go clear. You know this pisses me off, don't you? Having to use this. The method this glue uses. Lace and Ghost Bond. There was one time I had a good result with Ghost Bond, and it never occurred again. So it's starting to go clear here, but not back there. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go and do other things around the house, and I'll come back and give you layers 2, 3, and 4. It'll take me probably 3 hours. Okay, so the first layer has dried. With these hairs in it. And the next layer is going to just keep these layers down in there forever, I guess. So now layer 2. See, I don't really know how I'm supposed to get my finger in there at the front when I do the 4 layers after the lace is placed. The second layer is going on easier than the first layer went on. I'm not sure what's going to happen when it comes time to try to remove the little bits of glue out the back there. I don't really want the glue to come down further than the hairline at all, obviously, because then the hairs get stuck in, it's impossible to get it out. The whole thing gets covered in disgusting black shit, dust and whatever, hairs, but more dust. So I'm just gonna have to wait until the hairpiece is in position so I know exactly where it's gonna land. And this time, the white has become clear a lot faster than the first layer. It looks like it's basically already gone clear, except for those white specks in the hairs themselves, potentially because they don't have the heat of the scalp. Also, I might have just put a thinner layer over the first layer because the first layer had nothing to grip to, because it had like lots of microscopic pores to cling into. So it's tacky now. Okay, I'm going to do layer 3. Now I assume that the front hairline is the bit that needs to, well, if it's anything like Ultra Hold, this front section is the bit that needs to grip the best and not make any mess and not make any shine. In fact, this back area, I probably could have just used any glue because it's the least noticeable part. And this is not easier to use than Ultra Hold, which would have just been 15 minutes, one coat, finished. Then I could have placed down the hairpiece and then finished at the front with this. I might try that in the future, given that Ultra Hold is a lot easier to apply than this. And for accuracy, when I do get to the front, after I just do this fourth layer and put the hairpiece on. I will apply it with this. Okay, so that's already clear. And then here's the fourth and final coat for the upper half of the glue. Now I'm fully aware that I've done absolutely everything by the book. I even put on the no sweat. And despite past negative experiences with both of these products, Ghost Bond and no sweat, it is winter now, so nearly anything will work anyway, because I'm not sweating much in winter. But the problem that I showed you at the beginning of this video was that when I have a shower, all that Ultra Hold melts, which is the other glue I use, not Ghost Bond, the other glue that I always use, and it creates a huge fucking mess. If this stays intact and doesn't absorb heaps of water after a shower or during a shower, and it doesn't shine in the sunshine, but I'm not going to be testing it in the sunshine because I can't. It's winter time, hot sun I mean. And it won't be sweating, so it won't be sweating off. I guess all I'm looking for with this product, these two products today, over the next 3 weeks, hopefully, if it doesn't only last one weekend like that piece I just pulled off, will be that the shower won't affect the front hairline. The front hairline will stay nice. And hopefully this hairpiece has a nice front hairline. It's hard to tell against the porcelain until I wear it. All I can really do is put my thumb through like that and see if there's unbleached knots in there. Because with lace, of course, it's all about the knots being bleached. And French lace is thin enough. This is French lace. Swiss lace is even thinner. And my problem with Swiss lace has always been that it's only ever medium light density, which looks realistic, but you can see through to the scalp at all times. So medium light density is equal to thinning hair. Whereas if you look at the thickness of my natural hair, it's medium density, same as this. So that matches me naturally. For some people, it might suit them to even go for something like heavy density, but I don't think so. Medium's heavy enough. I'd say the only two densities you need to ever probably worry about are medium, light, and medium. I'm going to be wearing medium. So that's 4 layers now. Now I assume it's okay for me to put alcohol over the top of this so that I can squiggle my hairpiece in a position. Because how else am I going to get it perfect but just laying it down exact? It's not possible, okay? In every video I've ever watched or any instructions I've ever read, fucking hell, I'm supposed to read that writing. Well, it doesn't have directions, but the writing is extremely small. I don't know if you're able to read that. Because look at the size of my pupil compared to the writing. I've got glasses now, so I could potentially zoom in on it, but I can pretty clearly see that there's not really directions. Okay, so this is the hairpiece. This is alcohol, same as what they sell called adjuster bond or any other kind of isopropyl alcohol. Okay, same. So front. Got the temples under my thumbs, which I should have started doing at the beginning. I'm wobbling it into position. At present, there is no hold whatsoever. That feels like that should be up there, which should realistically mean that that other one was too far. Hair's already coming out. As is normal with lace, just sticks, the hairs stick to everything before the lace does. Okay, so I've got that pushed all the way over the edge. Hopefully this hairpiece is far enough back here so that there's no gap and there's no overhang. See, look at the mess it makes instantly, see? And now I'm gonna have to spray Ultra Hold in it to get these hairs out of there, which could get some fucking nerds cramming their pants about how wrong I've done it. And I kind of need to do the back first because that's the bit I won't be able to see when I look in the mirror properly. So I'm hoping there's no overhang and no gap. And because this has such a weak hold, I guess for the first 48 hours, I'm just gonna brush it in a bit deeper, like that. Just around there in the back. And the front of the hairpiece is higher than where I glued. So the front of the hairpiece all that just fell out of the hairpiece with lace. All right. There's virtually no hold so far. Understand what I'm saying? Stuff doesn't work, basically. Okay. Straight hair is falling out all over the place. The depth of the glue is almost zero, basically. I need the front hair piece, the front hairline to be, the whole thing just disconnected completely. Do you see why I complain about this glue? And now look. So there's no other way for me to do this. I have to spray more alcohol and use a comb to get that hair out. Okay? And I might just go ahead and try to attach from the front hairline and let the back fall into position and just hope that it makes the distance. This is so fucking messy, it pisses me off, man. Okay, take two. This time I will hold my thumbs on the temples, there and there, and I put it on. Lining up the front hairline first. First checking if I can pull out any of these strays from the back of the fucking thing, which doesn't have to happen, Polly, but by the way, you know that. Okay. Try to line this up with the front first. crazy. It's undoable, man. I used to say never again, and I meant it, but it's just been so long that I forgot why I hated this so much. There's no hold. Hairs are getting every fucking where, everything's sticking to everything. Do you see now why I choose poly and ultra hold? If you can't see that, then I don't know what's wrong with you, because it's fucking obvious to me why I choose that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch 180 of the other videos that I've made about this exact topic. Fucking everything's disgusting, man. Do I think it'll work this time? No, not at all. My theory is now, the more alcohol, the less it can stick, right? Okay, let's see if I can line this up. Temple, temple. Brush. Hold in the position, try and be straight, please be straight. I'm guessing that it's somewhat straight. Get off. Okay, so that's where I think the hairline should be. There, and there, and there. There shouldn't be any glue where I've placed the hair at the front, as you saw me do the whole thing, and you know that, right? Now, are there any gaps back here? Yes, there are massive gaps. So from the front, which has no stick to it, I'm gonna have to now try to pull it back into position, which can't happen. No, there's no other way. How are you people gluing the front first? How is it landing exact when you don't know how much to stretch it? You haven't got a back mirror, you haven't got proper mirror systems. Are you seriously just letting there be a gap or an overhang and you don't give a fuck? Is that what you're doing? Because if that's the way you're doing it, then you're doing it fucking wrong. You know that, right? Everyone can see that little fucking gap every time the wind blows or some shit, right? Or some overhang with some netting or plastic poly exposed. It's got to be fucking exact. No gap, no overhang. It's got to be fucking perfect. All right, look at this. That's fucking stupid, man. Now, using this glue, I've run out of options. The front hairline needs to be here, where I've placed it, right? Right there. That's exactly where my hairline needs to be. And this hair needs to come back all the way to back, fucking there. Okay, so now, there. A little bit of grip starting to happen, but look, all the fucking hair's in the way. Is this something that would just take practice? I don't know. It doesn't seem. It seems like a permanent fucking problem. Fucking problem. Look at this. Is that making it to the distance of the edge there? I don't know. Can't see what the fuck's going on because I'm doing the back when I can't have any fucking visibility back there. I'm trying to copy you guys and learn from you, but you've got nothing to teach me. Who the fuck told you to do the front first? Have you got people helping you? Is that how you're doing it? I don't know what the fuck. Like, how is anybody, seriously, how is anybody using this fucking type of glue? Ghost Bond. It is shit. It gets in the way. The lace is pissing me off. What we need is to figure out a solution to make poly blend better into the perimeter. Do you understand? How come nobody ever comments on the perimeter? Do you not understand what this is the perimeter where your natural hair ends and your hairpiece begins. Is there any confusion about that? I had to find a word. That's the best fucking word I can think of to describe that exact spot. And when I talk about gap and overhang, I'm talking about the hairline, the perimeter in relation to the hairpiece. The back edge. Okay? Get the fucking hair off here. It's fucking everywhere. It comes out of lace so fucking easily. It's fucking hair everywhere. Fuck. God damn it, this is fucking frustrating, man. I don't know why you people use this shit. Fuck you using Ghost Bond. I still haven't even done the front section yet. I haven't even had a chance to apply it to the front. Get out of my fucking face, what the fuck? Zero hold. Zero hold. Get these fucking hairs out of here, it's fucking falling off into everything. Fuck, get off me. It's like a swarm of fucking mosquitoes landing on my hand the moment I'm still. Get the fuck off me. I've got things to fucking do. Alright? How can you even think that lace is comparable to poly? Poly makes sense the moment you understand that it's plastic and it's a layer that just lands on your fucking... I didn't... That's the edge there, okay? Don't go underneath the hairpiece. Land it there, you fuck. Okay? You go there. That's still too high. It's still way too high. Fuck! That's it. I'm not doing it. Fuck you. I tried. That's enough. Fuck that bullshit, man. You know what? I'm gonna do the rest with this fucking glue, but with poly. Not with this fucking thing. And I'm just gonna use this old one. I'm sick of getting these fucking hairs coming out of everything, alright? That cannot happen with poly. Poly fucking obeys me. Fuck. Done your 4 fucking stupid layers of Ghost Bond, alright? Seriously, are you people all just going into salons and then watching me for the fuck of it? Why the fuck would you bother? God. Of course it's fucking easy if you're doing somebody else's head. It's fuck. If you think there's any skill to putting this on someone else's head, you're fucking dreaming. Alright? Putting this on somebody else's head, you can see everything. You've got 2 fucking hands, you've got a table and a bench and shit. Fucking spray, fucking comb, fucking do it all. It's easy. Alright? Doing your own head, that's where it's free, okay? But not easy. But it should be easy enough given poly exists. The lace fucks it up. Especially with glue that's... Can't even wet it for 24 hours? You're fucking kidding me. How do you not sweat in your sleep? Do you have a heater in your room? Sweat, you roll over, rolls in the pillow? That's the other thing with lace. You press your head, oh fuck's sake. You press your head against the fucking pillow, right? And now the glue that's melted from the heat has penetrated through the fucking lace material and into the hairs. Poly's gotta be the answer. It's gotta be the fucking answer. Okay, if poly's the answer, then I don't have to do any more thinking about the glue or anything else, right? But I just don't like the way Ultra Hold behaves in hot temperatures. So I need a solution for that. But at least you can do it in one layer. You can have a shower very next moment. It's acrylic glue, so you could have a shower with Ultra Hold wet on your head and just get in the shower, get out, spray some alcohol on it, and then put your hairpiece on it. It would still fucking work. It's acrylic. Humans are made out of water. Fuck's sake. Alright. What a fucking mess back there. I have no time right now to be cutting new hair pieces to get that extra gap there. So I'm gonna have a higher hairpiece if necessary today, okay? I intend to cut them out better next time. Now I would normally fucking peel that glue and shit off, but I can't be fucked, all right? Seriously. All right. Be scooping bits of my own fucking skin off soon. And look, the hairs barely want to come out of this fucking glue. It's just a fucking mess. It's a shallow mess with no real grip. It needs time to fucking bond. What the fuck's going on with the fucking time wasting shit? All right, but I can't have this fucking glue wet, can I? So I have to dry the bottom of the hairpiece with a towel. Don't have to pull any hairs out, do I? No, it's fucking plastic. Problem solved. So that's wet, so it's gonna keep the hairs out of my face a bit. Okay, fine, this is not a fair test because there's some fucking Ultra Hold still stuck to this hairpiece. Alright, I'm just gonna put it on as is. With some alcohol, of course. Now the problem with poly, of course, is going to be the perimeter, as I've told you. Right? That's pretty short, that one. I think I was meaning to put this one on. There are benefits, a lot of benefits actually, to having just the right length, shortish kind of hair. One is, for a start off, it blends better with the sort of length that I've got going on with my real hair. And secondly, it doesn't want to fly back and expose the front hairline. It just wants to naturally fluff out along the front, which means the hairline is concealed. Or any parts of the hairline that you do actually see are barely noticeable. I'm checking the perimeter for overhang and gaps. But this whole thing's very, very slippery on this Ghost Bond. So I can't move it. Now, that is way too high for the front hairline. That's where it needs to be, right there. Now I just felt the entire hairpiece slip and slide away at the top there, so that the front hairline could land where it needs to, which is there. But is this hairpiece actually big enough? Let's have a quick look. Shit, it's hard to tell. It seems okay. I don't understand. There should be a big fucking line gap up there somewhere. Maybe the actual hairs have fallen into the glue. Maybe this is too short. You see how easy it is to take off? And no fucking mess really left behind. Changed my mind, I want the big one now. The longer one. Otherwise my acting teacher will be like, how did you grow your hair back by 2 inches in one day? 1 week. And also I over bleached these ones, so it's way too blonde around the front. And also I cut away bits and pieces along the front hairline. I just want to start off a whole new fucking hairpiece over there. Oh no, this is the fucking side one, isn't it? Is this the horizontal V-loops? Yeah, see? Okay, I'm gonna use one of these. You go in the bin, you go in the bin. All right. Scraping the bottom of the barrel if I'm having to do this now. Towel, hairpiece. Drying the bottom of it so fucking this pissy little glue over here can stand a chance. So there is no ultra hold on here. Any residual ultra hold has been minimal coming from those hair pieces, which were in no way melted. Okay. It's really hard to get hairs out of this glue. Ghost Bond is 1,000 times harder to apply than Ultra Hold. So I've got my thumbs on these two parts here. Like that. I'll try and line it up. Yeah. That number, by the way, will land there, towards the back. Which is the only reason I would even consider wearing it. Trying to remove it with any type of paint thinner or anything else has never worked. It's just basically cemented in. It feels so much easier already just putting this poly on instead of the fucking lace, thank God. Yeah, I don't really want to use lace anymore. The maintenance for lace is ridiculous. Once you switch to poly, there's no comparison. For ease of use, I mean, you might have to do some bleaching of the front hairs and stuff, tricks like that, to make poly look more realistic, but definitely with maintenance and ease of use, it's fucking 100 times easier than lace. Now I really want it to land. My first preference would be fucking right there. But I don't know if I've slid it away from the top there, you see. It's not long enough to go all the way to there. I'm just gonna leave that to dry for a few minutes because I'm sick of standing in front of the fucking mirror. Okay. And then when I come back, hopefully the back will all be stuck down this shitty little weak fucking glue. Okay, I left this drying on my head for about an hour. But it's only fucking 4 layers of this. About 30 layers of this combed over the top of it. But at no point was any of the glue scratching off during that combing. Now this front section needs to be attached. The bond seems to have gotten a little bit stronger in the back half now, which is good. Yeah, it feels quite stable a bit further back there. Better than I would have expected. And my front hairline naturally would be right about there. So let's see how far I can get this thing down. It's going to take quite a stretch to do that. Does it look like it's the right spot? Okay, maybe it's not as stable as I thought. Hopefully over the next 24 hours or whatever, it will dry. My eustachian tubes are really blocked at the moment. Got a bit of a cold and I just wanted a flight, which possibly made my ears kind of blocked even more. Continue with this stuff. 4 layers. But thank God I'm using poly now instead of lace. This is pretty messy to do. Okay, that's easier. It's just that I didn't have enough glue on my fingertip. Yeah, I can get to the edge without going over into the hairs too badly. Of course, you don't want any glue to go over the edge into the hairs at all. And I'm gonna have to do this 4 times. Bit of curling happening up here, that's not good. So you'll be able to see in real time how long it takes for 1 layer of Ghost Bond to dry on 0.03mm poly. And if you recall, the layer I put on the scalp, the first layer took the longest to dry, to go clear, and then every layer after that was pretty quick. So talk amongst yourselves. I want to get all the bits of glue out of this comb. I'm just going to spray it with C22, which is basically like orange peel oil or something. Contains organic wetting agents, petroleum, hydrocarbon, citrus oils, and lanolin. Guess I was wrong, but it smells a bit orangey. could have been citrus oils from an orange, but those other ingredients I could not detect with my olfactory senses. Okay, so I put some hand soap on it, but that stuff doesn't come off with just water. And this water is fucking 100 degrees Celsius basically. Let me wipe this on it. I can't get it out. It's starting to go clear now. Does that look clear enough to you? Layer 2. I've got quite a lot of glue right here in the front hairs, but this comes out with water and it'll probably rinse out if I do it within an hour of now. So I'm looking forward to this being covered in the 4th layer of glue so that none of you fucking complain that I did it incorrectly. I'll push it down and then I will spray water over the top of this plastic. It's going to get completely dry underneath, obviously, and then just wipe out and brush out any of that glue which is currently up there, which would be impossible to get out without affecting this, obviously. Go. So by far, the easiest combination is Ultra Hold and Poly. If you don't know what Poly means, then go back and watch the first 180 videos, okay? Because you're way behind. Careful not to just shave these off when trimming, okay? That's why I do it the conservative way. Could maybe try and put a comb in there and try to cut it like that, but if you cut off too much eyebrow, you'll look like Neo from when he wakes up in the real world for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and you will not want to leave the house. You'll be so fucking embarrassed. Then you'll try to put some fucking fake tan or some fucking eyeliner up there. He'll look ridiculous. Do not overcut your eyebrows. Just trim the tops so there are no fucking flyaways sticking up in the air like that. And if you want to pluck them out and make it all neat, then you will definitely look gay. Or like you're transvestite. Don't be too neat. If you're too neat, you look fucking weird. Same with sideburns. If you make them too thin, it'll just look like they're starting to grow and it won't look right. I found the best way is just to grab a bit, and if it can be pinched or lifted with a scissor blade, then it's long enough to cut. If it can't be lifted up like that, then it's short enough. Okay? And don't forget, this is different. This is beard hair. That's different to head hair. You also have the option of transitioning up with your sideburns, or just transitioning them into a beard or having them short. But if they're too short, you'd better hope that it suits your appearance. Because having really short sideburns, or just going straight across from there or something, it's often a bit fucking weird looking, you know what I mean? These are fairly long, clearly, for 28-19. But 2019 is not really defined that well in terms of what did people wear in the 2010s? We haven't defined it yet. And I wouldn't want to really be a follower anyway, to be honest. Having said that, I know that plucked eyebrows is a transsexual look if you're a man. If you're a woman, it won't look too weird, I guess. But don't go overboard. Don't pluck them off completely and then just draw some fucking eyebrows. Nobody likes that. Nobody. Okay? Looks horrendous. Unless you do it really well. And it's really done extremely well. And I say this because if you're having chemotherapy or something, then your eyebrows are probably going to fall out. So you kind of have to put them back on if you care about, you know, maintaining a healthy face and appearance. But yeah, know what looks good and know what looks bad. And I wouldn't do my eyebrows by myself unless I was really good at it. So what layer is that number? That's 3, right? That's 3. One more. We wait for the 4th one to dry, then we push it down. Then I wet my hair and get this little bits of glue out the front so that it's not going to stay all clumped in 24 hours time when the whole thing is left to dry, to bond or set or whatever. To be honest, no, I was about to say, okay. So the thing about wearing this in summertime with lace is it melts. The glue itself melts into the netting, and any hairs that are pressed down get stuck in there and you get all clumped up and the whole thing becomes a mess and you've got to throw it away. It also becomes very shiny. It also becomes very easy to pull things off because it melts. In the case of poly, your head wants to sweat all the time. It just wants to sweat because under this plastic, there's nowhere for it to breathe. And I haven't put any little holes through it or anything, like I keep saying that I would, but I haven't. So there's no way for that heat to escape at all. They can't go all the way out to here and then evaporate. It's going to come straight through there and the sweat will come through. It will hit this stuff and go, who gives a fuck? It doesn't work. Get out of my way. No sweat. Don't affect me at all. The pores will all open out. Sweat will flow. And then a nice glistening sweat layer will develop between your skin and the glue. At that point, it doesn't matter if it's the best glue in the world, the whole hairpiece and the glue are coming off or sliding around in one big fucking thing. So that becoming melted has not been an issue with poly, only with lace. So therefore, unless this has got some magic fucking ingredient that fucking hooks in to your fucking pores and doesn't let the sweat separate your skin from the hair, from the glue, where the glue would probably stay on the hairpiece, then it's no better. And look how long it's fucking taking. And after this whole process, it's still gonna be 24 hours before I can even have a fucking shower. And I was hoping to have a shower tonight. I haven't done it after the flight that I just came from. So if this is not better than this 15-minute solution, why would I ever choose it? The only reason I would choose it is if it didn't shine or melt while wearing lace, and you saw what sort of trouble it is to put that on with lace. It's fucking hard. I would say, maybe if this is the best stuff, maybe if it is, with lace, it might be the sort of thing that only a hairdresser can do for you with extreme accuracy. Because trying to get visibility back up here, because any mistake, any hair that lands in this stuff gets trapped like it's in a tar pit, right? And it gets in your fingers, it just gets stuck, everything gets stuck. And especially with lace, right? This stuff becomes one kind of gigantic layer of stickiness. And if a hair lands there, it could slide all the way across. If a bunch of hairs land in, they can all be pulled off. Because when this is sprayed on top of this becomes sort of like just a layer of slippery plastic for 30 seconds while this slowly evaporates. And then this sort of hardens into position, and then the hair can't slide anymore. But this stuff, I don't know, it's just, I can't be bothered thinking of an analogy. Level 3 is fucking dry. That's all I'm doing. I'll put on level 4 now. Final layer. You see the absolute perfection I can achieve with the accuracy of poly, because I can go right to the very front of the hairpiece base itself. And you know that I can't do that with lace, right? You can't just apply glue directly to the lace base. You can only apply it directly to poly bases. The reason you can't put it on lace directly is because it goes through the lace hole, obviously, and into theirs. When I come back, this will be dry. I'll press it down into position. You know what else? Just so that you can't say this stuff would have worked in any other circumstance. I'm going to put some no sweat right along where it's going to be pushed down. Okay. Right there. That and that will dry when I next see you. Okay, so what this episode is really about is Ghost Bond versus Ultra Hold. It was sort of about lace versus poly, but poly kind of already won. So what I'm going to do now, I've put 4 already layers of Ghost Bond on the back. I sprayed it a bunch of times, brushed all the excess lace hairs out using alcohol spray. Hopefully that didn't affect anything and nobody will think I'm cheating or whatever. But this part here has been unaffected. I put 4 layers directly onto this poly. I've also put an extra layer of no sweat right along the front there. That's dried and that's dried. I'll take this out. There are some glues, there's bits of glue in some of these hairs along the front, but I think you'll agree that no water will penetrate in through the plastic up in that direction, the way I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to press it down now like I would if I was using Ultra Hold and try to bring it into the best possible position for where I think my natural hairline would land. I'll press it down, I'll leave it 24 hours to cure or bond. I'll also check along this line up here a little bit to see if I've left a gap after I've wet it. And I may even resist the temptation to cut my hair after I've done all this. So, do you agree there's plastic shielding the glue from being wet during this process? I agree, so that's all I need. So all along this front section here, I need to get rid of this water-based glue. C22 may be unnecessary at this point, though I do see a lot of hairs that seem to be stuck in glue over here already. So I may need the C22. In the meantime, I'll simply wipe along the front without letting it corrugate, and hold it taut where necessary and see if I can get some of that glue out. And over here it looks like that did nothing. Nothing at all to get the glue out. So now, plan B. I'm gonna brush this back so I can have a good look at it. See how bad the problem is. And yes, well, yes, gentlemen, we can now see there's glue all along the front hairline, which must be removed. So I'll use a C22 solvent. We'll put some of that all in there. Not let it fall into my eyes. And leave it to sit for 60 seconds. Making sure that I'm pressing down and not letting it go up into the area between my hairpiece and my scalp. And this bit over here seems like it's sort of dried into position quite a lot. I'm not sure how high up that goes. That seems very fucking high actually. So maybe this entire hairpiece is on a gigantic fucking angle. If it was ultra hold, I'd probably just lift it all up and put it back down quickly again, it'll be fine. But given the fucking bullshit I have to go through with this fucking shit, I think I would just let it stay where it is and try to brush the hair in a way that covers this fairly high compared to this side area. In the past, I've tended to cut away that bit so it matches that bit. But then later on, when I lift it up, clean it, and put it back down again, I realized I should have just fucking put it back down that way. So I won't do that on this occasion. I'll simply brush it in a way so that nobody would notice, okay? Now, I've got the C22 on all that front section, which means any glue is currently dissolved. It's been 60 seconds now, I guess. All right. And the way to get C22 out is with soap. And water. And I'm almost tempted to have a shower because that glue is now protected by the poly. But just so that none of you think that I've cheated, I'm not giving Ghost Wand a fair go. I won't have a shower. But with the amount of water and soap that you need to get this stuff out of the hair, I might as well just have a fucking shower. But this is currently soaking wet. And you'll notice I have not lifted back up any of the front. So none of that glue has become wet. Only the glue that I want to remove. And I can only wipe forward and lightly backwards at the end. Or sideways and diagonal down, so that you know that I haven't done anything to allow water to get up into the area where my hairpiece meets my scalp. Have another quick look now. Hopefully we've got some of that glue out. Yeah, that's the way that glue just turns into tiny pieces all over the place. It doesn't behave like ultra hold, that's for sure. Well, the front hair piece is not lifting. There are little balls of glue throughout. This hairpiece is probably 5 inches long by default when it first arrived, and at this stage it predominantly looks as though the front hairline is not too horizontal to be useless. So clearly the hairpiece is a lot straighter than my natural hair, right? I mean, the hair on my head, if you've got straight hair, is probably curlier than your pubes. Do people with straight hair have straight pubes? Is that what's going on down there? I'm a bit confused about people with perfectly straight fucking hair and tans all over their fucking bodies. Fuck you. Anyway. I'm not left-handed, by the way. This glue is feeling fairly secure, so I will obey the 24-hour shower rule. I won't shower until it has time to cure or bond or whatever the fuck it's supposed to do. My hairline seems kind of, well, on a fucking angle by the looks of things. Should probably come around like that, right? So if I can master Ghost Bond, I will, if this works well. But it might be that this is the thing that's going to make things work well. The other thing is, I know this melts and causes problems when it's hot, and I'm not sure that this does. But then I know that when this melts, it doesn't let the hairpiece just simply fall off. When it's, half working, it still holds it on. But I think this lets go of your hairpiece completely and lets it fly away in the wind or in the water. So, this feels safer than this, but this might be able to withstand sweat and heat better. So, it is under consideration. And if you leave your hairpiece completely full length without cutting a style into it, then you can go for this sort of totally neat hairstyle, I guess, so long as your front hairline is cool, which I recommend is not lace, because that's fucking shit every time you have a shower. It just fucking creates this disgusting thing. It becomes all sticky, hairs fall into it. Whereas right along here right now, there is nothing sticky about this, because as you saw, it landed perfectly. Okay, there's not 1 millimeter sticking out of extra glue, and there's not 1 millimeter missing in that direction. It is spot on. There's no way to achieve that with lace. Everything is a guess with lace. For that reason as well, poly wins. So it's back to poly again, I think. If the poly becomes so sweaty and hot in summertime that the glue's all melting and falling off and everything else, I will then take a pin and stick holes in the poly which are intermittent and allow heat to vent. I don't think I'll be going back to lace. Even if the front section was poly so that nobody could ever see that and you never have any problems with it, it would be better, and having lace back there, than having lace all through. But then you can't wear a motorcycle helmet with lace, you can't wear a hat with lace, it just fucks it all up, right? So poly wins in nearly every possible way. The only way poly doesn't win is, like I've said, where the edge of the hairpiece meets the perimeter. There could be a way to make the front hairline better, but as I've said to you many times as well, each hairpiece is different. You don't want horizontal V-loops running along the front of the hairpiece. That's where you've got just a complete wall of hair. This one, if you look close up, seemed to be, at least in the middle center, going front to back. Over here, they seem to be going a bit more horizontal, but it doesn't matter as much as right here. So this is a fairly good hairpiece. As for those numbers back up here somewhere, let's see if we can see them through the hairpiece. They should be in the middle, right? In alignment with my nose. Yeah, see back here? You see that plastic? This is something that lace wouldn't do too badly, but it doesn't work really well on the poly here. Either that glue isn't strong enough, because it got a little bit wet or whatever, or I've got some overhang right there. And that makes a very clear plastic exposed line there. But what I can't see at this moment is the back of the rectangle number sticker. So that's concealed in there nicely. I don't trust it as much if it had been right down here on this front edge. I'm glad it's sort of deeper into my hair, back that way. And with my very first poly experimentations back in the early days, I was unable to stop the V-loops from falling out all the time. But every hairpiece I've had since from Polly has the V-loops have stayed in. And you saw how much the lace was shedding, hairs just coming out constantly and getting caught and everything. Both from underneath the hairpiece where the glue was touching it and also on top when you're just brushing it. But look how clean that brush is after all that brushing I've just done in this Polly piece. No hairs have really come out except for when there's a sort of a stray one that's a bit shorter than the others, so I can just pull it out. But then I can feel that one, so that's actually my natural hair. It's not a piece of the Polly. So this hair is still wet, and so it's very flat on my head. I'll spray this in it right now because it's really neat. And hopefully this will look okay when it dries. This stuff smells good too, by the way. Sometimes if I don't hold something up in front of the camera for ages, it's because I've already showed it to you in the last video and I kind of expect you to be up to date to some sort of extent. You don't need to have watched the last 183 videos or whatever we're up to, but you at least need to have seen 4 of them. That's my expectation. I don't cater for newbies that much anymore. I can't stand it. Okay. But as you can also see, I'm just sort of learning. I'm not a salon technician or a hairdresser or anything. I'm just doing what I think suits me and letting you know how I did it and telling you what I'm frustrated with and go through some troubleshooting hints. But sometimes people disagree and that's good. But I haven't always seen people provide links to provide evidence. Whereas everything I do is on the table. You can see what I'm doing. You can see how long things take. You can see the mess that I make. I'm cleaning up as I go along. And I'm not afraid to tell you of mistakes. In fact, if there's any reason for me to be here at all, it is to tell you when mistakes occur and how to avoid them. And if I succeed, you can see how that is juxtaposing the mistakes. So therefore you can gain further understanding of how the whole thing feels and looks and behaves in the circumstances I give you, which is just the front partial, admittedly. But even if you go further back, it's the same principle for lace and Polly. But you're just going to have to need a special mirror back here. Unless you want to do the whole thing with one hand, you're going to need something to hold this mirror out. Now I've looked at those ones that come out of the wall, and the furthest they come out is about here. That's about as far as they go. They will not come out all the way out to here and allow me to do all this stuff. To look around the sides of my head and everything else that I need to do, right? So, given how light this mirror is, it would be a lot easier to achieve that kind of thing with an arm. So hopefully the arm doesn't wobble like this every time you place it. It'll be more like a nice sturdy dentist light arm, right? It just moves nicely. Have I considered getting donor hair from the back of my head and cutting it out and implanting it? Not really, despite the fact that it's been asked many times. Just don't ask me, all right? I'll do it when I feel like it. Provide a link to the best one you've seen, or to all the horror story ones you've seen as well, so we can all learn. Don't ask me personal questions about my fucking transplant, ideas in the future. I do expect that one day I will get a transplant because the technology will be good by then. but I haven't seen enough evidence that it's perfect at this stage. Also, I don't have the money to do that sort of thing. It's a bit of a wall of hair, isn't it? A bit too neat. But then the whole thing's neat, and so that's not really the main problem. The other thing that makes it not too bad compared to some of the other hair pieces is this one, I haven't bleached the front all the way up to there. I've only bleached the front little bit there, see? So it's looks a lot better. Having all that bleach like that was really the wrong bleaching style. I put it way too high on those other hair pieces. So I'm glad they're running out, to be honest. And it's good to see that that little number, that little rectangle, at least from my standpoint, I can't really look down directly onto the top of my head properly, but I was unable to see the rectangle in that direction. Also, another good thing is it's poly, so it's kind of concealing a lot of the hairs and things that are sort of stuck down under there as well. Whereas with lace, if you could see sort of through the shine of the glue and everything, hopefully that is not shiny, which could be a plus for that. Through lace you can see what's going on properly. With poly you can conceal stuff, including glue shine, which is the reason I moved to it originally, basically. Even though it was the first type of base system I wanted, I hoped it would exist, and it does exist. So it didn't exist in this form though, 0.03 millimeters thick. That's good, that's improved. That's why I've moved to it and I'm staying with it, because it's reached a level of technology I can now trust. It's not the best it could possibly ever be, but it's the best thing available on the market as far as I've ever seen. And as I say, because I cut my own hair pieces out, these partials out of a full cap, I get 1, 2, 3 slices out and I put each one on. Some of them are all going in wrong directions and stuff, and some of them have got horizontal V-loops along the front, so it looks like a complete wall of hair. Whereas this, you can sort of see that they're not completely walled in, right? There's some realism about it. I could also fade that into my scalp again by using some of this spray tan, but I just don't want to have to worry about getting any of that on any of the glue and having you say you didn't do it properly, right? So I'm going to wait for 24 hours. If there's a need for it, I'll make a follow-up video. Otherwise, I've got a couple of things I've got to do apart from make videos for you guys.